Look, I know I said I was leaving energy drinks in 2025, but today's January 1st, which means we have so much to do, and I just feel like an energy drink is appropriate. This is cotton candy, never had this before, so let's taste it together. Cheers. Tastes just like cotton candy. Also, my husband and I have been on winter break from work for about a week and a half, so I've been in the streets, and that's why my voice is a little hoarse, just a little bit. Anyway, we have so much to do today. I've even created a little list. I would like to set my 2026 goals, our 2026 budget, my 2026 vision board / bucket list, my January goals, which will be almost like a breakdown from the annual goals, so it would be important to do that first. My January budget, which would also be kind of like a small bite-sized portion of the 2026 budget, so it would behoove me to do that first. I would like to recap December's budget, December's goals, reflect on the month of December. I would like to update my paper planner with all of my new stationery items that I recently got in my January subscription box, and I would like to update the aesthetic on my iPads because they're very much Christmas and I'm ready to move into the new year. So these are all the things I would like to do today. Don't know how far I will get with them, but we're gonna start with recapping December and kind of closing out 2025, which I think will make way for an easier transition into all things 2026. For our December goals, tasks, and to-dos, we wanted to invest 15% of our paychecks, pay our monthly credit card bill, save $3,000, do random acts of kindness, buy our great niece a birthday gift, buy our dog Christmas gifts, take a shareable drink to this party that we were invited to, buy gift exchange gifts because I did a number of gift exchanges last month in December, buy home goods, which are just random little doodads that we need as homeowners. It could be light bulbs, whatever. We always need them, and I just leave that on here, or I've been leaving that on here as a task for the last several months. I also put on here to explore a new internet provider, and all of those tasks were complete. To talk a little bit more about exploring a new internet provider, we use Mint Mobile, which is a prepaid service that runs off of T-Mobile's towers. We pay $120 every 3 months because we pay our bills every 3 months. So essentially about $40 a month, but we pay it quarterly, of course. And we love having Mint Mobile. We buy our cell phones outright from Apple so that we can have the liberty to use prepaid providers. I think we've used about 3 different prepaid providers, but we've been with Mint Mobile for almost 4 years, and they run off of T-Mobile's towers. They recently came out with Minternet, which is home internet at a really affordable price. I think like $30 per month. So I was quick to hop on that to explore that. However, they do not service our area currently, so I will have to keep my eyes peeled for that. I could potentially explore some other internet provider, but I was definitely trying to hop on the Minternet train because it was so affordable. Again, those are all of the things that we did do, and then there are 4 tasks that we did not complete because they were no longer relevant. One was paying for our new credit card. It's really mine. I signed up for a credit card when I was booking some travel because I would be given $200 of free money, which I have already received, but we ended up not needing the hotel or the travel accommodations anymore, so we canceled them. So therefore we did not have to pay off the credit card because the money was refunded to us. I also had on here to renew my license. I recently became licensed as an independent social worker, and I wasn't sure about the renewal process and whatnot, but I do not have to renew my license this year, but I think next year, I'm pretty sure. I had on here to schedule the OBGYN, which, you know, that's been on here for a while. It's just a reminder. And then also to book a laser hair removal appointment, which I should do, but has also been on here for a while and isn't that important, but is kind of like a reminder. So those are all of our financial tasks, to-dos, and goals. Let's talk about our income. For December, I got 3 paydays from work because I was paid early for January. So essentially I'll only receive 1 payday in January because I received 1 early in December. So I got 3 paydays. My husband got 2 paydays. I got a mileage check, but then my husband also was awarded a scholarship, y'all. A scholarship. As you know, we've been paying for his grad school tuition out of pocket for the last several years, and he's doing it part-time because he works and all this other stuff. So it isn't going by maybe as quickly as it might for other people, but he's been trucking along, and we just got this scholarship that he was awarded. And so with that scholarship, which we will actually use for his upcoming tuition for the spring and then also his summer tuition, and then I think he graduates after the summer, I'm pretty sure. But either way, the scholarship will cover that. So that's a huge relief, and it also aided in us having a large income for the month of December. So we had an excellent month for income, but that shouldn't come as a surprise, because unless you're new here, you know that every December we always earn so much more money, and it's normally because of bonuses from work, Christmas bonuses and whatnot, or extra paydays, stuff like that. Now, for expenses, we had a wild one. We actually, for our actual spending on day-to-day living, bills, expenses, Christmas gifts, and just all the things, we actually came in a little less than $6,000, but we did have this other expense that took us over. So technically, our total spent is $6,210.58. If you subtract that other expense that didn't really go towards our living expenses and such, then we would be just under 6,000. So that's pretty good for us. I like to kind of breeze through and talk about what sticks out, and let's see what has been sticking out. We normally take our lunches and such to work, but I see my husband bought from the vending machine at work twice, so he must have forgotten his drink or forgotten his lunch altogether. I'm not really sure, but I see vending, and that's just sticking out to me as something unusual, if you will. Grubhub, we have been staying away from restaurants and Grubhub for all of 2025, but we did Grubhub in December one time for $24.01. I see vending for a third time. That must have been a rough week, because it was all in the span of about a week. I see Wingstop on here for $37.79. That's not really that out of the ordinary. I went to Bath and Body Works for their Candle Day sale, as I do every year, and I got a bunch of them, or I think 5, because I spent $53.92, but I'm looking at Winter Candy Apple, which is right here on my desk. So that is standing out to me. I think almost all of the Christmas shopping and birthday shopping done in December was done on Amazon. And we only spent probably like $200 on Christmas shopping. So we did pretty good with that. But I do see a number of Amazon purchases on here. We bought Falcons tickets for $24.81, and that's for me and my husband. But then my husband and his friend also bought tickets to go see the Falcons. And that is $43 and some change. $43.67 is what my husband spent on his portion. I went to TJ Maxx for my personal day and had a field day. I spent $74.82, mainly on things for me. I got some new Fugs or fake Uggs. I got, just some random bits and bobs. I went to Chinese, which isn't uncommon, but that's on here for $18. DoorDash is on here for $25, so I think we DoorDashed as well one time. Another Grubhub is on here for $27.26. One of those Grubhubs has to be me with friends, and then I just logged it because of my portion that I spent. There's no way we Grubhubbed twice and DoorDashed once in 1 month. Actually, I lied. I did go to JCPenney for one of the white elephant gifts, and I spent $19.52. I had a medical bill for $7.13, like my portion. We went to the movies, which is rare. We went to go see The Housemaid because we read that in November. That was $17.18. We went on a Tuesday, so that's why it was so cheap. Oh, and then my husband also got an icy at the movies for $8. We took out cash twice at $40 a pop. We paid for parking at the hotel that we stayed at when we went to go see the Atlanta Falcons, and then we also went to dinner there for $78.18, and then we also paid for parking when we hiked Stone Mountain, which was $20. That was all in the same 24 hours. And then we went and hung out with family and friends the other day at I don't know what you call it. I guess it's kind of like a bar, but we were there for the karaoke, and we spent $35.87 and then $16.32 at that place, and that was for us covering the costs of some of the stuff for the table. That was it. We did a lot of things for our break and have been doing a lot of things for our break, but a lot of times that doesn't require any extra spending or any extra money. We've gone to see lights, to different lighting events, and things like that. People might pick up the tabs for us if we're with family or friends, because we're just constantly going back and forth in that way. So a lot of times when we go out and about, it could be free it only costs money when it's really expected. We can't get out of paying for hotel parking or parking at the stadiums that we go to, because we go to a lot of venues and events and such. Some stuff you just can't get out of. But anyway, that is our December budget and what our finances were looking like last month in December. Now let's talk all things December goals. For the personal section, I wanted to take one personal day, which I probably took many of them, but I did want to take at least one because that is a goal of mine. I wanted to read 4 books. I literally read 2 books, y'all. I read Remarkably Bright Creatures, and then I read The Housemaid's Secret. I didn't even get around to reading the book club pick for December, which is tragic because that would mean that since we started this book club nearly a year and a half ago, that was my first time missing a book. And some months we have 2 book picks, and I even have read the 2 books every other month. Whatever we had, whether we had 1 book pick or 2, I read them every other month except for December. So it's tragic that I did not read that book. So I only read 2 books in December. I did not achieve my goal. For self-care, I wanted to schedule the OBGYN, schedule laser hair removal, grow my nails, buy perfume, and buy new candles. And I did 3 of the 5, so I'm marking that as achieved. For family, basically I have a whole list of home projects on here, and we did one of those. We decorated for Christmas, so we did not complete that goal. Those are running tasks that will be following us until they're complete. Also wanted to invest 15% of paychecks, which we did, and then save $3,000, which we saved way more than $3,000, but because we were not expecting that scholarship situation to take place the way that it took place, so we're thankful for that. For relationships, I wanted to schedule friend dates, catch up with a friend, host family and friends, and celebrate/help one person. I did all of those. For career, I wanted to search for and apply for jobs, which I've done, crush interviews, and accept a new job offer, and I have not done either of those. For business, I wanted to secure 1 sponsorship. I did not do that. And I wanted to publish 8 YouTube videos in December. I did not do that. I could have done it, but some of my videos were performing better than I expected. And so sometimes I just let those just do what they do instead of trying to put out a bunch of content. So I fell back on purpose, but I would have achieved that because I had the capacity and the wherewithal to do that, unlike some months when I am not able to do that. And then for health, I failed miserably. Wanted to work out 3+ times per week. Didn't do that. Didn't lose 6 pounds. Didn't do low calorie, low carb as much as I would like. I try to aim for doing that about half the days of the month, but I did not do that at least half the days of the month. Now we're moving into my Good Notes planner so that we can do our little monthly reflection. That lives in my digital planner. For highs, I put weekend inside. I think maybe the first weekend of December, we stayed inside and we had a ball. I put wine shop date. I don't know what that means. Wine shop date. Maybe when I went with my friends to this little wine shop place. I don't know. No idea. I put Christmas house party. I think this was my friend's party. That was fun. Christmas wine tasting. Oh, my husband and I went to a wine tasting at our liquor store. They do little tastings. By liquor store, I mean the one that we do go to when we go to it. And that was fun because they had a sugar cookie wine, a gingerbread wine, just fun little cutesy wines. I put company Christmas party. My company doesn't have Christmas parties, of course, but my previous company does, and I go to those every year without fail because somebody there is going to invite me to come with them, and of course I'm going to go. December book club, looking at Christmas lights. Our Atlanta staycation, we went to see the Falcons just the other day, and the tickets were free, or if not free, almost free, and we paid like a little bit on them. Sometimes that happens, but normally we get all of our sporting events tickets for free typically. And then we also had that free 200 with that credit card, so we booked a hotel and made a whole thing out of it. I put family friend time because we had a lot of that in December, and then winter break from work because obviously. For lows, I only have on here high blood pressure, and I think that is because maybe I went to the doctor. Yes, I went to the doctor in December and my blood pressure was a bit high. For my favorites, I put Marcellus. He was from Remarkably Bright Creatures. He's the main character. I guess he's an octopus, and I loved him. He's so cute. Yes, this is from a book. Then I have on here projector / robot vacuum. My husband bought a a projector, which we've been wanting for a while for outdoor movie nights and such, and a robot vacuum, which we've been wanting another of for a while. And both of those were put to good use in December. He bought them for Black Friday, so I think they were delivered in December, and we have used them both probably every day since we've gotten them. Miracle Knots, which is this. These are the viral Miracle Knots. I don't know if you've heard of them or whatever, but they are a cool little way of doing one's hair, because essentially what you do is you braid your natural hair. So as an example, somewhere in here is my natural hair. I think this thing here, okay. And then you just add these little pieces of hair throughout it. And it's supposed to be like an easy style that anybody can do, but as we know, I'm not doing my hair and struggling through it when I can pay someone to do it well. So I paid somebody $60 to do my hair. Trying new foods, which I did a lot of in December. All things Christmas, anything related to Christmas, you name it, I love it, I eat it up, love it down. Pear perfume. My scent of the month for December technically is pear, and I've been tearing up the pear perfume. I put an advent calendar because my friend Fancy from Fancy Budgeting, or Ashley from Fancy Budgeting, put out an advent box and she sent it to me, which was my first ever advent box, and that was fun. I think it was 10 days. I got some fake Uggs. I've always thought of getting Uggs, but they never really appealed to me, but of course they were popular. But I have some fake Uggs that I got at TJ Maxx for $20, and I've been wearing them pretty much daily. They'll probably be falling apart within the next month, and that'll be my run with the Fugs, but I'm loving my Fugs. Christmas wines, which we kind of already talked about. Wine glass charms. I got some wine glass charms because I want to gift at book club, so I've been loving those because I do drink pretty much any drink out of a wine glass because I love a cup or a glass down to the ground. I got some new Touchland hand sanitizers for Christmas from my mother-in-law, but then I also had purchased some like off-brand ones, and I'm loving those as well. Let me show you. Walmart has kind of like, you know, their own version of it. This one is molten marshmallows, and so I bought this pack. It's like a limited edition holiday pack. I bought it from Walmart for $10. There were 3 of them, and then it also came with a case, a little carrying case as a bonus. And so for $10, can't beat that with a stick. Sweet potatoes. I ate a lot of those in December because I just love sweet potatoes, particularly sweet potato fries. Champagne, y'all know I love champagne. Don't know that it loves me back, but I love it. And then also I put on here professional football. When I went to the Falcons game the other day, even though that was probably my 10th NFL game, I was just in awe and just soaking it all in and trying to be present and in the moment. I'm a concert girl. I love really every other chaotic event where there are lots of people besides sporting events. I've just never been a huge sports fan or a big enough fan to pay for a ticket to go to one, but I mainly get all of my tickets for free, and my husband's a huge sports fan. I feel like I'm coming around, and I wouldn't venture to say I am an NFL fan or a Falcons fan or just even a football fan, but I'm coming around. I'm coming around. For lessons, I have only one lesson, and it's not even really a lesson. I mean, it is one, but it was the only thing I could think of to put something on here, and that is family and friends greater than, because that's just it. I don't know about anybody else, but I truly believe I was really just put here to hang with my people, to find my people, and to hang with my people and spend time with my people, and that is all that I'm here to do. So I'm in a goal setting mood, I feel like, for right now. So let's hop over and work on our 2026 goals and our 2026 budget. So these are my 2025 goals, and I'm going to update them. So I definitely read way more than 24 books. I feel like committing to more than 24 books is maybe slightly problematic, but we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to read 30 books, which is 2.5 books per month. I feel like that's appropriate. And then worst case scenario is that I fail at reading 30 books, and who really cares? in the grand scheme of things. Let's look at this family section. Purchase dresser for landing. That's still a goal of mine. Purchase glass doors, shades, curtains, still a goal of mine. Gutters. We did purchase gutters for the front of the house, but we're thinking about adding some to the back. We don't really need them, but we might do it for a preventative measure, but it's not causing any issues like not having gutters in the front was. So I'm gonna purchase gutters, back gutters. Maybe. That's like a big maybe. Maintain regular maintenance, clean doggy car cover, still need to do that. Change air filters, need to do that regularly, but definitely need to do that now. Organize drawers, still a goal of mine. Repair patio ceiling, yeah. Change fridge filter, yeah. Touch up gray paint, touch up white paint, yeah. Update office, no, I actually did that. Hang guest room curtains, yes. No, I did that already. Now, well, we have another room, so hang spare room curtains. Actually, I want to just update the spare room. Also want to update the guest room, but it's not a big to do of mine, but I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna put that, I'm gonna move purchase gutters down a little, because that's like, if that gets done, then cool. These are, you know, hopefuls, if you will. And I am going to change the color to gray, because I'm a gray text girl in Notion. I don't know why. And if I think of anything else, I'll add it on here. Invest 15% of our paychecks monthly. Absolutely want to do that. Probably need to make a goal to update that a bit, but I feel like I don't need to go worrying about updating the percentages unless there is really an increase in income at our full-time jobs, which we are anticipating, but we'll revisit that. Cash flow college tuition, technically yes, but we really don't have to do that because my husband just got, you know, that scholarship. So maybe I'll just leave the action step here, but leave it blank. Maybe it's not applicable for now. I'm gonna review this in a minute. Pay off car loan. That actually is gonna be a thing whether we want it to be or not. Sorry, car loan will be paid off in 2026. Technically, we're supposed to have, I think, one more payment that might be due January 2027, but like in theory, it'll be paid off. If not, we can just make an extra payment. So even if we don't do anything extra, then our car payment will be paid off, just because it's been almost 6 years and it was a 6-year loan. So I mean, I'm trying to think of an item for the cash flow college tuition, like a action step. I guess pay tuition on time. I mean, literally, we got that scholarship money. Pay off car loan, pay minimum balance every month, pay extra payment in December, and that would have our car paid off. And then become student loan debt free. That's still applicable. For yearly goals, for relationships, schedule gatherings quarterly. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Grow relationships. Yeah, I feel like that's not even catch up. I want to do this. I want to do spend intentional time with loved ones monthly, really. But, you know, celebrate 10 years of marriage. Okay, I have come up with my annual goals for 2026 as I am reflecting on 2025 and all that was accomplished. Honestly, there's not really much left in life that I'm really adamant about accomplishing. So that's good. That means 2026 will be kind of like a coast year where I am settling into some of the habits that I've formed. The only major goal that I have in life ever is taking better care of my health. That is a chronic struggle and something that I'm always actively working towards, just decreasing unhealthy habits and increasing healthy habits. So that's my major goal in life currently. But let's talk about the goals as a whole. So I think I was getting cut off at some point. I think I got cut off at some point, but basically I'm going to aim to read 30 books, which is about 2.5 per month. For family, I have a slew of things that I would like done around the house. Lots of things. I just feel like there's always something to be done around the house. So I would like to be working on a lot of those things for sure. Investing at least 15% of our paychecks. I am thinking that we won't get back to our FIRE journey or really investing a whole lot until we are finished with my husband's degree, because that just takes up money. Cash flow, my husband's college tuition, as we know, will be possible because he got a scholarship, pay off our car loan. That'll also open up a lot of money too. So it's giving maybe 2027 when we're getting back to FIRE. Become student loan debt free. Renew our term life insurance policy. For relationships, I put scheduled gatherings quarterly. I think it's very much doable to host here at my house at least quarterly. In fact, for book club, we have all of our books and locations and dates chosen for 2026. And I see that a couple of the events are actually going to be at my house. So that's even better for my hosting efforts. Plus, my husband is on track to graduate, and I think it would be in order for us to have some kind of party celebrating that. So I have that on my to-do list as something that we will likely be doing. I want to grow my relationships by spending intentional time with loved ones monthly. Celebrate 10 years of marriage, because 2026 will make 10 years of marriage. And I think this is where I got cut off. For career, I am thinking about opening my own private practice, just even starting the process. If I do that, I do want to get licensed in the state that's next to me as well, so that I can be licensed in both states before going into private practice. I think that would be helpful. There's a whole process for getting licensed in a different state and applying for that and all of that. So that would be one task to be completed, which would probably take me several months. But I'm thinking that might be something that I am looking to do potentially. I don't know why I wouldn't start the process, at least at minimum, to kind of lay the groundwork, and then I can decide from there what I'm going to do with it exactly. I have on here to secure a new job. I feel like that's always on here, but that is remaining on here. We'll see what comes of that. Business, I put secure 6 sponsorships. I don't know that I secured anywhere near 12 in 2025, so we're not gonna act like anything near 12 would be possible in 2026. It could be, but I don't know that I work hard enough or care that much about sponsorships to be, trying to make that happen. So let's go with maybe every other month. I have to publish 6 YouTube videos monthly. I am going down on that because 8 seems to be a little daunting, and I probably missed an upload or 2 each month in 2025. So let's just be realistic and go to 6. Although I'm not having to study for my exam and do all that stuff anymore, but we're gonna be realistic and go with 6. And then I'm leaving lose 40 pounds on here because I don't think I lost 40 pounds in 2025, and I for sure didn't. And even if I did, I could still, even if we were going off of the weight that I am as of this morning when I weighed in, I could still stand to lose another 40 pounds. So that's what we're gonna do. And we are gonna try to do like a dry-ish 2026 as well. And I didn't really make a lot of these smart, if you will, because I don't really care that much. Some of them are smart. They're not super duper smart goals, but I just feel like I'm not in any place where I need to be having that much pressure on myself. I was in 2025 as I was trying to pass my clinical exam, which was my big goal for 2026, I feel like, or 2025, but I don't have to do that. I would like to hit 100K on YouTube in 2026, not gonna lie, but I've decided there's really nothing I can do about that except for putting out content and hoping people subscribe. I can't really control the outcome of that, but that is a goal of mine. So if I could hit 100,000, lose 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, lose 40 pounds, and that's about it. Those are my major goals for 2026. Now let's talk about my January 2026 goals. So these are a little bit more specific to the month. I want to take a personal day. Today's actually the 1st. And I think today will be my personal day. I want to read 4 books. The Silent Patient, The 4 Winds, and Love Warrior are currently being borrowed in Libby, so I can read them at any moment now. So I would like to read them before they're due back to the library. And then Where Secrets Find Solace is our book club pick for January, and our book club meeting is going to be closer to the end of January, so I have some time before I need to read that. But those are the 4 that I would for sure like to read, and then if at all possible, I would like to finally finish Abby Jimenez's catalog, which means I would need to read The Fall Risk and Life's Too Short. And then I also read The Housemaid's Secret in The Housemaid in November, The Housemaid's Secret in December. And so even though I'm told The Housemaid is Watching and The Housemaid's Wedding are not that great, I would like to read those books anyway because I love Frida McFadden. For self-care, schedule the OBGYN. I definitely need to schedule it in 2026, maybe January, we'll see. Schedule a laser hair removal appointment. Grow my nails, we're attempting that. I attempted to grow my nails long in 2025, failed miserably. We're gonna keep at it. Buy perfume because, you know, I'm trying to become a fragrance girly and I've been exploring perfumes and stuff. So I'm gonna keep that going, and then I'm gonna do dry-ish January. For family, I took all of the home projects from the 2026 list that I thought could be completed actually in January and added those to this list. So it's a lot of stuff, but they're all really simple and they're quick things that we could do, and some stuff we're already in the process of doing. So we'll see what we get accomplished in January. Definitely want to invest 15% of our paychecks, and of course save at least $2,000 a month because that's what we try to do every month. For relationships, I pretty much have the same thing on here. I have buy my BFF a birthday gift. We're going on a trip for her birthday, so I'll probably buy her stuff along the way, like pick up her tabs and stuff along the way, or give her cash or something. We'll see. I don't know. We're in a flow state at this point. It's whatever is what she'll get. For career, same stuff. I have secure a new job. I'm not really aiming to secure a new job in January, but like if I did, I wouldn't be mad at it. So we'll see. For business, I put secure one sponsorship, maybe start the process of it if I don't secure one. I do have some opportunities and emails that I could maybe explore, so we'll see. I have published 8 YouTube videos, and honestly, I have 8 for January because January is so long and I love New Year content. I'm always putting out content like this in the new year or leading up to the new year. So I think I'll do 8, even though I'll probably take a week off or so when I go on that birthday trip with my friend. But I still think I can finagle 8 videos. We'll see. And then for health, really the same stuff. And then to limit eating out, which we hope to do for all of 2026 as well. Actually, I'm going to add that to my 2026 list. We really stayed out of sit-down restaurants a whole lot in 2025. We may have gone once a month, if that. So we did really good with that goal. I'm very proud of us for that. As of right now, those are my January goals. Obviously, I can add to the 2026 goals and the January goals if I see fit or if something pops up and there's just something that I want to do. But for now, this is what we're going with. I have all of my books in here, all of the books that I've read since I've gotten back into reading as an adult, and I rate them and all the things. And I went ahead and I lined up my next 4, which are The 4 Winds, Love Warrior, The Silent Patient, and then Where Secrets Find Solace. And then I do have some others on here. I have books on my bookshelves back here. I have books that I'm waiting to get a hold of via Libby. I just have a lot of books to be read, but I did go ahead and just add the 4 as next up. And then I also just did a few updates as well to this whole list. These are all books that are either on my shelf or that I want to read. I do have other books that I need to add to this that I recently got that I haven't added to this yet, but I feel like it's fine because this doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be really like a jumping off point because my TBR is always going to ebb and flow. But I did go ahead and update the book section. And then also as a part of my January goals sheet, I have my bucket list in here that I also updated. So I recently just completed a bucket list item December 29th when we hiked Stone Mountain. And then I also did a drive-in movie for the first time in April of 2025. So I did check off a couple of my bucket list items. These are just things that I would like to do in life. Just random things that are definitely within my ability to complete, but I have just not done them yet. So I just have a running bucket list and I add things on here as I see fit. I honestly have already marked off a lot of the things that I would like to do in life, but these are just some very niche things that I would like to do one day. So they exist on here. Also on here, I have my social media section. This is where I add in all of my video information, my sponsorship information, speaking engagements information, and financial. So basically my social media content calendar, budget, income, like everything related to social media is housed here. Also as part of my goals section. And then we also have, my 2024 quarterly planning sheet. Remember, 2025 Q4 planning sheet. I need to update this. None of this got accomplished. That did get accomplished. None of the rest of that was accomplished, or it was not applicable. That's pretty much it for Q4. I really didn't have much to do here because I really didn't plan a whole lot for Q4 of 2025. Okay, so this is our annual budget. Basically, I have all of our bills listed in here for 2026, and it gives us like a rough estimate. It's not perfect because I don't really know how to tweak this template the way that I would like to tweak it because it was purchased, and I am just not that good at all of the back end databases and whatnot that you have to do to keep up your Notion and to make your Notion work effectively. So it's a rough estimate. So as you can see, we pay on average, roughly, we are spending about $3,000 on our bills, and really just our bills. Yeah, our bills and our major living expenses, not to include food and stuff like that. And then we are spending like $36,000 or so yearly on all of our bills. Again, the number isn't accurate because I don't really know how to work the back end database stuff all that great. So basically somewhere between like $3,000 to $3,250 probably on average is going to bills each month, and then somewhere between like $36,000 to $40,000 probably is going towards bills each year. Basically, this just gives me an overview of what we are looking like and what our expenses are looking like, what our subscriptions are looking like, all of that fun stuff. So this is just an overview of everything that we are expecting to spend our money on a personal level in 2026. Of course, I do have a social media business, and then I have another business, and then of course I just shared that I'm in the process of starting up another business. So that's all real stuff, but that's not our personal living expenses and bills and such. So we have this. And then really in addition to this, we would have food for ourselves and for our dogs, like groceries and stuff, birthday gifts and any kind of giving of that capacity, date nights, gas for our cars, parking fees that we occasionally might have, and just like stuff like that. So that is everything else that we would be spending our money on, which is pretty much up to us whether we want to spend a lot or spend a little. But basically that is our annual budget for 2026. What you're looking at now is our budget for January of 2026. So we want to invest 15% of our paychecks, pay our monthly credit card bill, save $2,000. And honestly, it doesn't really look like we can save $2,000 in January on paper, just because of all of the expenses we have and the one less paycheck that I am receiving. But I received my paycheck early. So technically in my head, I'm using that as a January payday. So technically, because I didn't spend it, I am still getting 2 paydays in January, if that makes sense. So on paper, because I am not technically logging that payday, it doesn't look like we're able to do very much, but technically we are, just because that money is sitting in the bank as we speak. I want to do some random acts of kindness, buy my friend birthday gifts, as I mentioned, buy home goods. I forgot to pay our termite control in December, which I kind of always pay it late anyway. Termite control is something we pay annually and is very much optional, because we could go without termite control or do the termite control ourselves. So by the time we decide that we want it, it's normally late, but it's fine, because even though it's due in December, they're not going to come out but a couple times per year. So I just need to pay them before they come out here. So I'll probably pay them in January. Pay my husband's college tuition, that's due tomorrow. Schedule the OBGYN, book laser appointment, and then schedule our tax appointment. The last those three are kind of maybe might do it in January, might do it in February. Sometimes I like to list out all of the events and happenings and such, but sometimes it does feel repetitive because all of that is in my planner. So we're gonna skip that for January and for the sake of making this video maybe a little bit shorter. And I'm just gonna share with you our January budget. So normally we try to budget off of about $6,500 per month, but that doesn't always work out due to different factors. So for January of 2026, we are going to be budgeting off of roughly $7,777.72. So with that, we are going to pay our gym bill for $62, our termite control, maybe, for $370.79. Our HOA fees are due. They are technically $200 even per year, but when we pay through the website, we do have to pay some kind of fee or something. So that's due at the end of January. I do try to pay it on the first of the month usually, but it's not that big of a deal as long as they're paid by the end of January. So I think each year those are about $209 after the little fee that we have to pay. So $209 for HOA fees, $314.34 for our car payment, $130.11 is what I'm budgeting for my husband's cell phone bill. I mentioned that we pay our bills every 3 months, and so our bills are due in January. And it's gonna be at least $130. It might be a little bit more. It just depends on what the fees and taxes and such are. Actually, I can double check it. I'm pretty sure I did double check it already, but just so we're clear, I am gonna double check it. Okay, cool. So $130.11 for our Mint Mobile bill for my husband's. Cable, $45.99. Electricity is gonna be $242.37, which is a little much for January, but take that up with Georgia Power. Car insurance is gonna be $143. Remember, we used to pay our car insurance every 6 months so we could save money, but due to the finagling and finessing that I did recently, it's not really gonna save us that much money due to how low our current premium is. So we're just paying it monthly. Lawn/pest control is gonna be $85. Our mortgage is gonna be $1,685.18. Sirius XM for our car is gonna be $9.99. We just have Sirius in one car. My Mint Mobile bill is gonna be $130.11 as well, due on the 19th actually. And then water/sewer is gonna be $75.68, and that bill already came to me. So I know exactly what our bills are gonna be for January. Normally I film my January budget or my budget with me video maybe like 5, 6, 7 days before the new month. And I'm just guessing on what the water bill will be because it doesn't come in until like the 1st or the 2nd of the month. But because I'm filming this so late, I already got that bill. So that's gonna be the exact bill for water/sewer. Internet bill is $90.30. Amazon Music, $10.99. Pet plan for our dog, $65.55. Security for our home, $57.14. Life insurance, $42.19. Netflix, $7.99. Budgeting $2,000 for shopping, which is on the higher end. For us, it's not that hard to spend $2,000 on food and gas and, you know, all the things. It's really not in this economy. But I'm definitely doing $2,000 because I'm going out of town. And then that will leave us saving about $2,000. Probably more, but $2,000 for sure. That's going to be our budget for January of 2026. Turns out I was at some point trying to update, or was updating, succeeding at updating my iPad for 2026. This looks good. I mean, I kind of recycled some stuff from last year, but we're gonna go with it. I feel like it's kind of cute. So what do we need to do? Okay. Our 2025 planner is literally done. Is that not crazy? I literally can archive it, which is so scary to me to think. I mean, it's not scary, but it's wild to me to think that it's done. I'm looking at this and I'm trying to decide if there's anything I want to steal from here. Or where did I make this? Did I make this? I kind of want to focus on the same things. Is that cringy? Where did I make this vision board? This is my 2025 vision board. And I have also began working on my 2026 vision board, which is super cute so far. But I'm trying to decide what else I want to add here. Okay, so reading is a thing. This is just cute. I don't know why. It's just cute for me. So, and I love wine glasses. So that's on here. I really want this, I think, exact bag, which is a Coach Rowan. So that's on my vision board. This is for traveling. This is just a money affirmation. And then I feel like I want to add something on here that has to do with community again. So maybe something similar like that. And honestly, I do want to be an organized queen in 2026. And then I also, of course, want to hit 100K on YouTube. So maybe I'll put something like that on here as well. Vision board is complete, pretty much. And now the only thing left to do is add some finishing touches. So I'm gonna put reading. And then I'm gonna put celebrations. Oops. Now we're finished. This is my mood board for 2026. So we can actually go in and check off the mood board because we updated the mood board in the bucket list. Now, the only thing left to do for my iPads essentially is to update my other iPad so it looks like this one. I'm realizing I am actually going to still film a January plan with me, even though I am low-key late with just getting set up for 2026. So I am still going to film a plan with me, but in the meantime, I do want to go ahead and set up this planner, and then I can just plan in it when I film the plan with me, because I don't really care about planning for January right now because it's January the 1st and I'm at home not doing anything. I got plenty of time to kind of get organized before going back to work after my 2-week break. But I do think it's appropriate to just set up the planner, and then we can plan. Maybe tomorrow I can film the plan with me, or, you know, whatever day. So I'm going into this little pouch where I have housed all of my items that I got in my January subscription box from Infinite Lotus. And so what we need to do is just update everything. I did add this card not long ago from Fancy Budgeting. I think it's like a washi cutter card, but I thought the gold was cute. Nice little pop color. So we have that. So we just need to take out this and replace it with whatever card we want for January. I've been putting the ugliest card over here. And so for January, it's probably going to be these logs, just because you can barely see it anyway. So it feels appropriate to put the ugly card over there because I do want to use everything. Now, I've been using this pen for all of 2025, but I got this new pen from Infinite Lotus. However, I am told that this is blue. I don't want to take the little beady off of it, which is, this lets you know that it's a gel pen because they always come with these on it to protect it. So I guess it doesn't dry out. I am told that this is blue ink. I can't do anything with blue ink. I was talking about changing my pen, as we know, for the new year, because this one is a great pen, but it skips a lot. The only issue is that this fits greatly in here. It fits beautifully in there, but we can probably figure out something else. This is a Sarasa 0.5. I do love this pen. It fits well enough. You know, I love a Sharpie S Gel, and I do have a white one, so I might switch to that. And then I'm just looking at other pens that I have received recently. I have this Pilot G2 pen, which is a great pen. that's on the floor now. And nothing else really is sticking out to me as like a pen that I would want to use. So I need to decide, am I going to keep using this pen or am I going to get a new pen? This is in 0.7. Let's maybe test it out. Also got this in the January subscription box. Hello, my name is Shay. Yeah, can't really go wrong with an S-Gel. It's definitely not skipping as much. I do prefer that other pen, but we might have to go with the S-Gel. Now, I'm gonna take this off, I think, because, well, I don't know. I didn't use any of them in 2025 or in December, so I'm wondering if it needs to stay. For now, we'll leave it in there. Okay. We need to remove this if we can. Although we can throw it away because I was going to try to remove it gently, but it's for December of 2025. So really, it can be thrown away. I think we're gonna go with this for January. So we are all set up and ready to go for January as far as having everything in its place. Obviously we have to go forth and actually plan, but we are set up for January. Okay, that was a whole lot, but I think we're finished and I think we're set up for 2026. I do have to come back. You have to come back too, so that I can plan for January. Again, I'm not too pressed about it because it's the first and I'm just at home. It's not that big of a deal, but I would like to set up my digital planner and my physical planner for January of 2026. Perhaps I will film that tomorrow, but at any rate, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.